Welcome back to Smashing Heads Podcast. This is our recap for Spies, Lies, and Allies, episode 13. My name is Zach. I'm joined by my wife, Hannah.
Hey, what's up?
My best friend, Jake.
Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight?
Real mood killer right off the bat.
I'm angry tonight. I talked to you guys about this beforehand.
And I'm loopy.
And, so...
Angry and Loopy, two of the best seven dwarfs.
Anything can happen tonight.
Is Loopy a dwarf?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Snoopy.
you probably should maybe specify why you're angry. I mean, we don't have to like fully get into it, but just...
Yeah, well,
it has nothing to do with the show.
No.
It's me.
No. As you guys heard a couple weeks ago, I cut my hair, right?
Oh, but before we get in that, stay tuned for important news. So if you skip this part normally, don't do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey.
So, it happened while we were on vacation in Utah, and so I went to someone totally random, which I think if you poll people who cut their hair regularly, that's just not a normal thing to do, is to just go to a random person, right?
Yeah.
You typically have your person. Well, we were in Utah, and it was like, I knew right then, like, I wanted to cut my hair, and if I waited, I may change my mind. So I booked an appointment for, like, the next morning, cut my hair, was happy with it.
But you did go to somewhere high-end, so it wasn't just some random,
yeah,
like,
but you still,
in the hole in the wall.
You still never know.
Yeah.
And so... there were a couple of things I wanted shaped up, so when we got back home, I called the girl I used to go to that before I started growing my hair out. I said, "Hey, I've cut my hair off again, and I'd like to come back in, just get it shaped up real quick, just a couple little things." So I go in and today, and I tell her right off the bat, I say, all I want is the areas that have already been like trimmed down around the back and the sides. I just want them buzzed down even further to like a 2-guard.
Yeah.
And kind of blend it into what's already long on top and on the side. So like I told her, I even like lifted up like my sides of my hair and said like, come in and buzz up underneath that. Right? So I told her, don't touch the top. I don't want anything touched up there. Well, she buzzes it down. I'm like, okay, oh good, this looks better, right? And I even told her like in the back, because the girl I went to initially did not cut much of the back down, so it was kind of poofy back there, and I didn't like it. So she even took care of that for me today. Well, then she gets her little spray bottle and starts spraying the top of my head. And I'm thinking, okay, well maybe, she's the professional. Maybe she's just trying to just further blend it.
Or fix it.
Or fix something, right? Like, I'm not an expert when it comes to hair. And as it, she does. She starts working the sides. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, then she grabs my bangs and starts cutting. And then she grabs the top of my hair and starts cutting. And I'm having like a borderline anxiety attack sitting in that chair. But I don't want to do anything.
But you specifically asked
I specifically sat there and said, do not touch
the top.
Not in that tone, right? But I'm just like,
but you did.
Don't touch the top of my hair.
Not in that tone, but you did say, don't touch the top, don't touch the front.
So once and it's like she just continuously just kept cutting. I'm like, oh, and I see like little strands of hair falling on the drapery she's got over me, right? And I'm losing it internally. I'm so annoyed right now. Well, then like she's done, right? So she goes to fix it, and she goes to spike my hair up. And she's like
2002.
She's like, oh, all the guys are doing this today. Like, this is the look. And you have to understand, like, if you guys have like seen pictures, like I get the bangs, like right at my eyebrows. It's messy, and like that's just the look I went with. And I came into the salon with that look. And so once she started fixing it, one, I hated it. Like, I'll never fix my hair like that. Right, like all the little spiky, like I'm 12 years old again.
Oh yeah.
Well, to be fair, when you were about 12, you had a perm.
That was 14.
Was it 14?
A little older.
Okay.
A little older.
A little more mature.
Give him some time.
So.
But also, you literally work at a gym. The messy look is the easiest thing for you. You get out of the shower, you get dressed, you go to the gym. You are not the type to spend a lot of time fixing your hair to go to a gym and sweat, like to spend the time to like spike it up. It doesn't make sense to me why she.
Well, that wasn't even on my mind. I think what happened, the more I sat and I thought about it, I've thought about it ever since I left.
You stewed on it.
I did stew on this. And so I think she thought when I came in today and my hair looked the way it did, I think she thought, that's not how he fixes his hair.
You came in like, I didn't do anything to it because I'm going to get a haircut.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I do that most of the time when I go to get my hair cut. Not the same person. We do not go to the same person.
The problem is, that is how I fix my hair. So I think when she started cutting the top and the bangs, because what happened, not only did she cut some length off that I didn't want touched, now she cut, so some of the top of my hair was like flowing into my bangs, so it made my bangs look fuller. Yeah. Well, what she did was she cut length off the top, so now my bangs look thin.
They do. They
look thin. So now I hate it. I'm
Let's
angry about
it.
I'm angry about it because I specifically said don't touch. And so I think when she started cutting, she started cutting to fix it the way she was planning to fix it.
The way she wanted
the way she thought. And I don't know what happened because I went to this girl for years and I have crazy requests. Y'all know the haircuts I've had. I've had crazy requests over the years, and she's as stupid as I go back and like look at these pictures and think, wow, that's a really stupid cut. She gave me what I wanted.
Yeah.
Regardless, she gave me exactly what I wanted. And it's just like something happened in this 2-year span to where I don't know. I don't know what happened today. It's mind-boggling to me.
I thought you were about to say bizarre.
And so now I just had to deal with it because I don't want to buzz it because I liked the look. But now now like I'm gonna go back to her because like now I have to go in and if she goes to reach for them scissors, I have to be like, no.
You have to say exactly like that.
Like I have to preface and I have to watch her now.
All you have to do to make this easy is show a picture of what it was like when you got it cut on vacation.
But Zach, I said don't touch it.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't matter to say, hey, this is the look that I'm going for. Make this happen.
But this was the day I got it cut. I really like this style. I really like this cut. I want to keep this. I want it to look like this.
But that's look where like
I understand what you're saying. You specifically told her not to touch it.
I didn't go in like I shouldn't have to go in with the idea that she's going to want to do her own thing. Let me tell her, like I think don't touch the top is specific enough. I shouldn't have to tell her. Don't touch the top of my head is
maybe this is the top, and I'm referencing like the crown of your head.
I mean, I grabbed like my bangs. I said my bangs aside, like don't touch it. So now
she touched it.
She touched it,
and you can't like.
Now, does it look bad? No,
it's not a bad cut, but I didn't see until we got up here in the light what you meant about it being thin at the front, which it kind of is. But you might be able to like fix it tomorrow.
When did you get this cut?
Today.
I know today.
It had to.
I went home and showered and like refixed it. My appointment was at 4:30.
Okay.
It was a few hours ago.
Well, yeah, it's 5. I mean, it's 9 now, so it's been about 5 hours almost. You live and you learn, and then
next time if it happens, you might have to be like, hey, I still don't want this touched.
And then show a picture as well, just to double down. You'd rather be too redundant than not enough.
Yeah.
And then if she goes to grab for those scissors again,
just get out of the chair.
No. Or like when she puts the trimmers down, you're done. We're good. We don't need to do anything else.
I'll brush it out myself.
That's fine. Everything else is fine.
Well, guys don't really get their hair like brushed out.
But like the little, I've seen guys get their hair cut at the salon I go to, and they have this little palm-sized wooden ball with like it looks like a powder brush for your face.
Yeah. No, that's.
But I've seen them brush like
that's
the back.
just they brush your neck. That's not.
Yeah,
when you said brush
your
it out,
neck.
I thought you meant like go through the.
No, I meant
hair.
brush it out, like brush the little tiny hairs off your
Yeah,
neck.
no, that is.
I've seen that a lot.
Well, now that that's over with,
It'll only grow out. So
I know.
what if it grows in though?
No,
What if it grows in?
by the time I go back in there, it'll
Be what you want and
it'll
be
what
like,
I
hey,
wanted.
just don't touch
I
it.
just so I just had to kind of endure for a few weeks.
Did she ask you what you thought after she finished?
Nope.
Oh man.
I'm glad she didn't.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Mine doesn't do that either. They don't say, "What do you think?"
And I was so flustered that when I was rescheduling an appointment, I just said, just put me down for a couple of weeks because I just wanted to get out of there because
Yeah.
I was so
Upset.
I was so upset.
Zach, she does not ask you. You guys go to the same salon, but a different stylist. Zach, she doesn't ask you what you think because you get the exact same cut every single time you go. So she's not
in and
gonna
out.
she's not just gonna magically ask you one day, what do you think?
No,
it hasn't changed.
I'll do little things that are different every so often, but
She shaves your eyebrows.
she never says. She never asks what do you think. That's a weird loaded question. Even if you love it, like it's just a weird question to ask.
My girl asks me, but we do like all kinds of stuff every time I go.
Well, we're done with the hair corner because we got to talk about a thing that we teased
Halftime hair.
on not halftime, it's over. On Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. It's been a long time coming. It's something that our patrons know about. So again, patreon.com/smashingheadspodcast. We've plugged our web store a lot, but we've only had 2 designs in there for a while now. Now there are 8 total designs. We have 6 new designs up in our web store. Again, you can go to smashingheadspodcast.com/store and it redirects you directly to our Threadless page. And as of right now, as of recording, which is on the 5th, regular t-shirts are $5 off on Threadless's website. So, and you get free shipping if you use free ship 21 on orders over $45 within the US and $80 international. So, here's the thing. Typically, when we did designs last time, it was just t-shirts. Maybe I think I had a couple hoodies and things like that. I just was like, you know what? On these new designs and on the old ones now, I was like, I'm not going to limit to what you want these designs on. And so I basically went through and just checked almost all of the boxes. Like, there are home goods, there are accessories. You can get any of these designs on phone cases or shower curtains, or if you want to spend $140 on a king-size duvet. And I got to be honest, I've screenshotted it and sent it around. I really hope somebody buys a Nipple Boys duvet because it would... If someone buys that, I really want...
You're gonna write a handwritten note.
Yes, we all will.
Like, no, you specifically are gonna go
Yeah.
all out if somebody buys a Nipple Boys duvet for their bed.
Yeah, so we got new designs. We got the main logo and then the simplified logo, which we've always had. Then we have another version of a logo. Then we have a hand can't swim shirt,
Which would make a perfect beach towel or something.
which, by the way,
Which
you
is an
can get it
option.
in a beach towel.
Which I think is so stupid.
We got a Nipple Boy shirt. We got a How's Everybody Doing Tonight shirt. We got a Dims the Facts shirt.
Well, it didn't have to be shirts.
It doesn't have to be shirts. Design, sorry. And then we have a FTK, like for the kids design.
Because this is a children's podcast.
It actually in the description says, despite Hannah's insistence, we are not a children's podcast.
This is a
Oh, let me see.
children's
Zoom in
podcast.
on that thing.
Well, it doesn't say that on there. It says
Oh, is
it
that
in
a
the-
knee brace or something?
no, that's a neck gaiter. So like,
Okay.
If
Pull
you
it
want,
up.
yeah, you can get skateboards, you can get mugs, you can get laundry bags, you can get all kinds of fleece and notebooks, and
Koozies.
you can get just like acrylic wall art of all these if you want. And I really think so. You can get it, like the shirts and all that come in any color. The design just stays white. But for like the accessories, like the phone cases and the masks and notebooks, all that type of stuff, beach towels, bath mats, all of it. I had to pick a background color, and I do think that the pink on the Nipple Boys is going to hold that design back a little bit.
You think so?
But I think you got to go pink on that one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I
I think it fits.
I would love to see someone in a pink
Nipple
Nipple
Boys
Boys
tank
shirt.
top.
No.
Just out in public.
Pink Nipple Boys king size duvet, and then on top of it, they're holding something again. But we got shower curtains, and you can get a shower curtain and bath mat, so you can have a how's everybody doing tonight shower curtain, and then when you step out, you're looking right down, and it says Dims to Facts, and and then you can dry off with a hand can swim towel.
Stop.
So again,
Stop it.
everything on here is good to go. It's go to your heart's content. We did it as cheap a pricing as we could on Threadless's page, basically.
You know, the FTK stuff would be really good for like kids.
I was gonna do that. I did have someone ask about kid sizes, and I thought about only doing that shirt in the kid sizes.
Because this is a children's podcast.
It's not.
The kids have to be able to rip.
But the other thing is, we do have on our Patreon, we did ask if there's anything that anybody else wanted, because there are a couple of like other styles that I didn't do. Full transparency, it's only listed as men's styles, but it's because every one of our patrons we talked to, every woman I've ever met in real life, they don't wear like the women cut shirts. They just
they're gross.
They don't like the fit
They
of
don't
them.
feel
No, so I'm
good.
sure some people like them, but I didn't do that on any of these. And so if people really wanted those are an option. We did have someone ask about if we could do V-necks, and we can. So I didn't have that as an option because no one had bought a V-neck in the past.
But if you want a V-neck,
I can make that happen.
go to our store and get you a V-neck.
Well, you can't yet. I have to make it happen.
Message Zach and
Yeah.
then go to our store and get you a V-neck.
So the crazy thing was, like, I put out just that tweet because we had to move our recording schedule just for some work things, and I was like, we have some exciting news coming along, and someone like right away was like, new merch, and I was like, what? And I was like,
How'd you know?
and she's like, I'd kill for how's everybody doing tonight,
And
thing.
I'd kill for you to have
and
one.
I didn't tell her. I was like, but we got it. We got it going.
Yeah. Yeah. That's this is fun.
So yeah, you'll get on there. You'll see what it is. Like the thumbnail pictures are the color of what everything comes in as far as accessories. As far as t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, crew necks, all that type of stuff, you can get whatever color you want, except for like white and like really light grays, because the white font wouldn't show up well on that. But you can get all these in stickers up to like 6 inches each.
That'd be fun.
And no, you can get thank you cards, says these. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's who am I to tell you how to spend your money? So get whatever you want.
The world is at the shoulders of your palm.
Wow.
I don't know
what that means.
I don't either. That's not what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say?
I
Show me that duvet.
Here it is.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty. That logo's pretty big on that duvet.
Oh, yeah.
Let me
This is about to be a Christmas gift for somebody.
that was a dim.
Let me go to the nip. Go to
Yeah,
the.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna show you the nipple
when
voice
Zach
one.
showed it to me last night, I said, "Do you know? Like, do you get an alert, or can you see when somebody buys something?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And I said, "But so I don't mean like, do you get an alert like, hey, somebody bought something from your store?"
That's incredible.
I said, if somebody specifically buys a Nipple Boys duvet, will you know? And he
Yes.
said, "Yes, I will get an alert that says someone bought a Nipple Boys duvet."
Look, I'm not the one to encourage premarital sex,
I don't know where you're
Okay,
going with this.
I'm not either.
but what greater?
Wait.
There's not a greater article, the duvet, to just bang a quick one out on.
Gross.
Okay.
Why did you say it like that?
So I don't know why the
boys.
marriage status had anything to do with that sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Well, again, we're for the kids.
This
yeah.
is a children's podcast.
And on the tank tops, those hands line up perfectly.
They
over the
do. I was
nipples.
just thinking that.
But I had it like that on some of the other ones. But when you like center the design, it like the spacing applies to every article, and so some of them were like too high and stuff. And so because what was happening was on like the sweatshirts, the thing was way too high up, and so it's just the way that they print these. But there's also like 3 different versions of each sweatshirt and crew necks and all that. There's like, cheaper ones, like $35.
French terry.
And then there's classic fleece, and then there's sponge fleece, which I don't know the difference, but sponge fleece is $7 more than
Sponge
classic
fleece is the big, thick tufts
Well,
of material.
you
It's
can-
almost
you can
like
get-
a Sherpa feel.
You can get any of the designs in
It's
Like the
real
Old
thick.
Navy fleeces.
I don't know, but Old Navy
What?
to me
Like from back in the day, that was Old Navy fleeces were like a big thing in the early to mid 2000s.
Old Navy fleeces to me. I really want someone to get a Nipple Boys mask. And
hey, did you guys?
I really like these Like, I'm not even joking. I like all of these skateboards a lot.
You can't go to skateboard anymore.
I didn't say I can.
You just put that up on. That's wall
Yeah,
decor,
exactly.
too.
It's like wall art.
Did someone tell Wesley, who has been on the show before, if a Hand Can't Swim T-shirt is now available for order? Because he's been asking me for months.
Well, it is now. I haven't talked to him since this has all been launched.
See that coffee mug.
Oh, hold on. By the way, 4 different coffee mugs. Four different ones. You know, you can just.
That's pretty sick.
Where's it at? Mug right here. Yeah. So also you can get just a skateboard deck, or you can get like a full complete, and like they'll do the trucks and all that stuff. So yeah, there's phone cases. I don't know what the availability as far as phones go.
That's a good looking.
You can get
mug.
Black or white as far as the mug, and then there's standard. There's latte.
What's latte?
I'm assuming the like
it's,
more
it's
V
the
shaped.
Tall
And then there's
coffee
also
mugs.
a travel one, which is more of a like
a tumbler.
yeah. Again, there just
fun.
Just honestly, probably too many choices, but we're not going to limit your imagination. And it's something that we've been working on for a little while, and we wanted to get it up and running. It's a perfect time for the holidays.
Yeah.
Merry
I mean,
Christmas, guys!
There's
Plus, it's like a sale or whatever.
There is a sale, but I believe it's only on the regular T-shirts. Yeah, the extra soft and the premiums, those are not on sale. But instead of being $21, which is cheaper than what I've seen a lot of other people advertising their merch for, these are $15 currently until the 15th.
That's more than I spend on T-shirts when I go places.
Well, I can tell you all this. I joke with my little brother Jagger all the time about I call him sunken nipples.
Okay.
He's a little boy. So
He is a little boy.
Okay,
his nipples kind of sink into his
First of all,
chest.
guys, he's not a little boy.
He's 18.
Yeah, he's 18.
He's physically little.
Much like my baby sisters, they will always be little to me.
Well, I told him I was definitely getting him a pink nipple boy shirt.
Good.
He'll wear it.
Yeah, so he'll probably cut the sleeves off.
Then get him a tank top.
But he don't like tank tops. There's a difference in sleeves cut off and tank tops. There's a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Also,
you don't understand.
No, I don't understand.
Look at this. This is sleeves cut off, right? I still have
Yeah.
my neck here. Tank tops typically dip.
they do dip.
They dip. I don't like the dip. I prefer sleeves cut off.
You want that thing choking you.
I'm not choking. Y'all all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. So, again, SmashDancePodcast.com/store, or if you just go to Threadless.com and just search us, like it's tagged and everything. But, again, there's a lot. There's literally 6 brand new designs, and then there's new options for the old designs if you wanted those as well. Again, you just run crazy. Do whatever you want. And also, it's just they look good. So go check it out. The For the Kids one.
That's the best one.
I don't know. I really like the Hand Can't Swim one, and the Nipple Boys just with that pink just pops.
Up.
Yeah.
I like the kids one because one, we're a children's podcast. 2, it's yellow.
We're not.
And I love yellow.
It literally says,
everything.
despite Hannah's insistence, we are not a children's podcast. In the design, about the design.
Yeah.
Children's podcast.
So check all that out and patreon.com/SmashDancePodcast. And we we had a lot up top, but let's
just jump right into it.
Let's jumping right into it. The first thing that I had, which I kind of skipped over, like everyone kind of walking back in the house. I don't really have context for it. I just remember at one point, Amy said that CT is like Lady Gaga.
And that Lady Gaga is her idol.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that CT is one of her idols.
Yeah.
She really looks up to him and she wants to learn from him.
Yeah, it's I'm sure he's in good company, but I don't know if you two saw. I posted it in our Slack group a couple days ago. You two saw it, the band.
That's an old band.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
CT is doing a movie with legit actors. Like it's a remake of The Most Dangerous Game, which is where rich people hunt humans. And
I know.
What was it? Ice-T?
Did he do one?
No. Wasn't he the?
Well, it's a book from like the 20s.
It's an
But wasn't there a
incredible
movie
book.
made like back in the 90s? They used to run it on TNT all the time.
Anaconda.
No, that was
Snakes
one.
on a Plane.
Hold on. Yeah, it's a great movie.
I mean, it's
The Most Dangerous Game is an incredible book.
yeah, it's from 1924. I'm sure there's been a handful of
It's an amazing book.
film adaptations. You know what? I'll find it right here.
I'm anxious to see.
There was one in 1932. Was he in that one?
No.
I'm anxious to see this movie because I don't know much about CT's acting skills, but I think he looks the perfect part to play one of the guys that gets hunted.
Surviving the Game.
That's not the same.
Is the name
it may
of that
be based
movie.
on the same thing though. I don't know.
All right, here it's got to be the same sort of deal. All right, when Mason, who is Ice-T's character, homeless and living on the streets of Seattle, hears about a job as a hunting guide for a group of wealthy clients, he gladly signs on and is taken to a cabin in the middle of a Pacific Northwest forest. There, he meets psychiatrist Doc Hawkins, Gary Busey,
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast right now.
an oil baron and Wall Street investor. The next morning, however, Mason is awakened to learn that he's the prey the men will
Yes,
be
it's
hunting.
based off the Most Dangerous
yeah.
Game.
A really fun movie, though. Yeah.
Rutger Hauer and the guy from Scrubs that I don't know his name. Gary Busey looks insane in this right here.
Yeah.
And then Ice-T
Has dreads.
Yeah, has dreads, which I don't know if I've ever seen him like that
I've never
before.
seen him like that.
Go check out Ice-T. He's doing good things.
What's that one called?
Surviving
Law
the
and Order
Surviving
SVU.
the Game. Okay, so here's everybody's homework. All three of us and everybody that's listening to this podcast. Everybody has to go watch Surviving the
I've already
Game.
seen it.
We're gonna watch it again. I've never seen it. We're gonna read The Most Dangerous Game, and then we're gonna watch.
We're already out.
And then we're gonna watch Surviving the Game. And then we're gonna all go see CT's movies.
It's not out yet.
We're going to see it when it comes out. You didn't let me finish.
You just
When
did.
it comes out, we're gonna go see it in the movies.
In the movies. We're going to see it in the movies.
I'm very excited. It's such a good book. I think I want to order. I don't have a hard copy of it, but now I want to go get a hard copy so I can read it in places.
Well, Logan, he knows that Amanda likes to be annoying.
He said she's the most annoying person in the house, which I thought was pretty harsh.
Corey says she's the weakest girl in the game, which I think is an overstatement.
Nelson thinks she's toxic.
Somebody.
That's fine.
I want
And
to
they're
shout
supposed
out.
to be like best friends.
I think I screenshotted it. By the way, let me check. Real
Amanda's
quick.
not in the top half, but she's not the
She's
worst.
not the weakest. There's no way.
No.
I think I didn't screenshot it, but I think her name was Rachel in one of the challenge Facebook groups. Says that Amanda actually has more daily wins, 5, than Nelson and Corey have combined, which is 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did
And
see
I'm
that.
pretty sure Nelson
I
and
saw
Corey
that.
have been on a significant amount more.
She's done like
seasons.
4 or 5 seasons, and they've done like 9
Collectively.
apiece. Yeah.
Yeah.
like
They've
close
done a
to
lot.
20.
Yeah, and they've had how many partner and team challenges they still can't win.
You create your own narrative. Like that's what happened here. You created a narrative that just is not true.
Yeah, like she's nowhere near like she may be one of the more frustrating people to work with, but she's not the weakest girl. It's not even close at this point.
I mean, they even said like last week when she was politicking maliciously and threateningly to keep herself out of elimination.
And it worked.
It worked. And like everybody, they said they knew what she was doing, but it worked. And so she can't be the weakest because she at least knows how to.
Yeah, you're there. You're out there.
I know. What's the word?
I think you just said it. Just come on.
He's cheering you on.
I know.
You got it.
It's getting further away.
Jake, I don't know how versed you were on Romanian pig Christmases.
Yeah.
I thought
before
that was
this.
a really cool segment.
I didn't realize that pigs had a big part in Christmas in Romania. But Emmanuel said that all the kids jump on it and like ride around or pretend to ride around on it. I'm pretty sure it's
No,
dead.
they did. There was I think they showed a picture of some kids on the back of one that was already dead.
Yeah.
It was a really good cultural learning segment. I really enjoyed it. I love learning about other cultures around the world and traditions and stuff. And I thought this was a really neat little scene. I know it was kind of nice because it made me think of the Philippines and how they like to roast a pig for big celebrations like birthdays and stuff like that. Like, I had some friends who are Filipino, very, very much full-blooded Filipino, and every year for the youngest son's birthday, who's my age, they would roast a ginormous pig and invite everybody they've ever met, and it was always a really huge shindig. And that was
Jake, I bet
so much fun.
You never roasted a pig before.
Like a whole entire pig. They just put it on a stick.
I have been to events where they have, like, they actually have the whole pig on like a skewer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
turning it upside down.
Well, probably just spinning it, right?
Yeah.
Not just cooking it upside down.
They roast it over a fire.
Some of them bury it. It may be Hawaii or something, but like they bury it in the ground and cook it that way, and like bury it in coals.
That's cool. I mean, you're not typically eating the skin anyway. You just gotta.
What?
You gotta get in there.
Oh my good Lord! By the way, Hannah took Tylenol PM as a surprise to all of us an hour before we started recording.
Supposedly for back pain, but there is a thing called ibuprofen,
or just regular Tylenol.
Works well for me.
Well,
to be honest with you,
I haven't been able to sleep in the last 3 days, and so I'm hoping if because I'm so.
Is it because you still think that
I'm so sensitive to medicine? I was like, I'll take a Tylenol PM and it'll knock out this back pain, which is like strictly in my spine, and it'll help me actually sleep tonight because I'm deliriously tired.
Well, we talked about Romanian pig sitting, and then we segued directly into Tori and Emmanuel, having to fix the shower. Emmanuel's just giving us a lot of, details on the front end of this episode.
He's a plumber.
I mean, he's not. But
he said he's a plumber and he's got to fix the toilet, and then there's something wrong with the sink.
Yeah,
and Tori had to help.
Thanks for the reminder.
And he was naked.
He was fully naked.
He should have got a nipple boy shirt to cover that up.
I feel like he would wear a nipple boy shirt.
I think
he would in a heartbeat. Yeah. This was, I guess I hadn't really thought about it until this point. Emmanuel is the only rookie left in the house that has not seen an elimination.
Yeah, Emmy's gone into 3.
2.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. She's got a better record than some of these vets that are on here.
I think we said that last week.
I don't remember that.
PM will do that to you.
So
just watch your memory.
PM.
I guess I just, with Josh and Logan, we had not seen this season them speaking Spanish to each other. We'd not even, from my recollection, seen them like have any like one-on-one, like, hey, we're really good friends time. And then we just get all of a sudden like them outside, Josh speaking Spanish, which doesn't surprise me because
he's from
Josh Martinez.
Florida.
Yeah, I mean he's Hispanic to some degree, and then also he's in Miami, and so I just didn't put it together. I guess that they were friends, and then it turns out I don't know what Logan is doing to people, but man, he got Ed and he got Josh, and they're willing to throw in anything to save him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's him speaking in his native tongue.
I don't think they're not hypnotized.
He said "action," and I could have cried. I thought this was a really nice little bit, seeing Logan speaking his native tongue with Josh, and Josh being able to converse with him, and it almost seemed like you could see Logan almost like physically relax as he's conversing with Josh. Because, I mean, like Josh even pointed out, he's like, you sometimes are having a hard time picking up on what's actually going in this house because, it's hard trying to translate in your mind English to Spanish and Spanish to English. because you like that takes time, and then you don't always pick up on the nuances. English is an incredibly hard language to learn as like a second or third tongue.
But I mean, like, also a lot of the rookies had to deal with that in various ways.
I know. He just seemed a lot more at ease in this conversation. I could also sit and listen to him talk. I don't care about what. He could read me the dictionary and I would be happy.
It's a weird world to live in.
And then he and Josh talk about like winning the final and then traveling the world together. This is when I started thinking I didn't realize they were very good friends, much less like it's going to be like Fessy 2.0 where he's like, you're my ride or die.
Apparently it was because he was willing to throw in Corey.
Which ironically, the next scene, it cuts to Corey telling Nelson that Josh is like making really shady moves.
Well, I didn't even have any notes after that. The only thing I had after that was breakfast of losers in all caps.
Corey slapped a donut out of Big T's hand, which I think is disrespectful.
I just think it's funny that they all were chanting breakfast of losers. Like, I don't know. It was like a scene out of a movie.
Sorry, Zach.
What'd you just do?
My mic's just hanging. I don't know if you broke it.
Oh, I didn't break it.
There it is. I got it. I fixed it. I slid it in. It was hanging out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I love donuts, and I think I don't know if I would get mad or if I would cry if I had a donut that I was about to eat and somebody slapped it out of my hand into the floor.
I mean, she had more. There was other donuts left on that plate.
I know, but I think I'd be really upset if somebody did that to me because I really like donuts.
I'd say as far as like desserts and like good dessert snacks go, donuts are pretty hard to beat.
Desserts or dessert snacks or breakfast
not breakfast. I don't eat them for breakfast.
Donuts to me are a breakfast food. I don't eat those as dessert.
All right.
What? You don't eat a donut as a dessert?
No.
Then if you're gonna eat a donut, it's breakfast.
Yes. If I eat a donut, it has to be at breakfast.
Are you thinking about a bagel?
No, I'm specifically thinking a donut.
I've seen you eat donuts that was not anywhere near the morning.
First meal of the day is breakfast, no matter what.
This was at like 9 p.m.
I've come over here to podcast with donuts out on the kitchen counter, and you grab one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was probably the Walmart chocolate icing donuts, which...
Oh, that's not breakfast.
No, those suck, by the way. And it's not that I eat them because I want them. I eat them
because I need them.
No, I eat them to make Zach mad because I don't like them.
Why you get mad?
That doesn't make you mad.
And Walmart donuts suck, and he buys them. And I'm like, they're not good. Why are you doing that? He's like, they're so good. And I'm like, no, they're not good. They're dry and sometimes hard. They're not soft and like slide down your gullet smooth like a Krispy Kreme donut.
So she's punishing herself to try to get to me, and it doesn't bother me at all.
I do specifically eat them to upset you.
Well, that shows how bad of a person you are.
No, I'm a good person.
Yeah, she was doing this the other day.
You're a weird person for eating donuts for breakfast, not as a dessert.
Yeah, she was doing this to me the other day. She kept talking about how good of a person she was, and she said it at least 4 times within like 10 minutes. And I was like, who doesn't say that is good people.
No, okay, context.
No, we're not getting in. We don't have time for. We'll do it later.
It's a quick rundown.
No, we don't have time, Hannah. We do not have time.
I was just gonna say.
We don't have time. It's too long of a story.
It's not.
Patreon.
I was just gonna say.
The daily's called Sunken Intelligence.
This is something our patrons want to hear.
Yeah, the daily's called Sunken Intelligence. And again, like the last few dailies, there is no balancing of the teams. So if you just have more people, you got a better advantage. And that's exactly what happened. The team that had 6 came in first. The team that had 5 came in second. And the team that had 4 came in third. And I just don't like it.
It made me really upset. Like we got halfway through the first round, which was Devin's team, and I thought, I don't think the other teams are going to do as well because there's less people, meaning there's less hands, meaning there's less strength being equally divided.
Well, we got the only hand that matters.
What?
She didn't get
it. Did you get it?
I got it. Yeah.
You said less hands. We got the only
HANS.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
No, it was so stupid because like you watch the first round and it's Devin's team and they have the most people and you see how long it took them to tangle all the knots, and how hard it was to pull all the rope with them. Because look at how heavy that rope is, and how long it is, and it's gotta really take everybody pulling it up. So if you are CT's team, it's so unbalanced, it's so unfair, and this was stupid. They need to have people sit out to make it an even number of people.
Wait a second.
I do agree with that.
Did you say look at how heavy it is?
Yeah, you did say that.
Look at how heavy.
It's a weird. It's not a bad daily in theory. It's just when you have more people, it makes it easier.
We said this last week. Last week's daily was not a bad daily in theory, but the execution was horrible.
Last week's was just way too messed.
Horrible execution. Yeah. This one could have been a lot closer, a lot more fun to watch, but CT's team hardly stood a chance. They just didn't have as many people, and they're going to suffer for it, which I think is stupid.
Yeah. So obviously they came in last. We go to a night out. Again, kind of that weird little club that only they go to. The Ruby Cell has a meeting where they bring everyone together, and Amanda doesn't want to get the blame for everything because apparently they told her to just stay up top and not do much, and she kind of made a joke out of it. And anyway, the whole meeting kind of blew up into everyone getting mad at each other, Nelson kind of yelling at Amanda. The only thing I was looking at was how many dead pixels were on the wall behind him, because that LED wall was very shot at this point.
Like it.
No, I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, there's. Well, I mean, for my job, I have to look at LED walls and stuff, and there are so many just dead pixels on that thing.
You should call and let them know.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of understand why Nelson and Corey were upset because Amanda basically just gave up on the daily and wasn't pulling her own weight. She put them at risk. It didn't do anything to negatively affect her. She had nothing to lose because she's safe no matter what. This is a men's elimination week, and so it put Nelson and Corey under a lot more heat. So Nelson was basically getting upset with Amanda, saying she doesn't take responsibility. She's yelling back, and Big T and Logan looked incredibly uncomfortable and very much like they wanted to crawl under a rock.
Honestly, I don't even remember them in this segment.
They didn't say anything. They just sat there looking very uncomfortable and just watched silently.
I mean, Nelson blew up, and then he apologizes to everyone. I mean, he apologized later, but Amanda's at this point just fully going to embrace a sabotage role and say, well, I'm just going to keep throwing it and screw you guys. And I mean, she doesn't respond well to negative reinforcement. And when he's going after her, saying you did this wrong or whatever, it's not going to work.
It feels like an attack on her.
Yeah.
I'm sure is what she feels like. And she's got to lash out in self-defense.
So after all that, the next day, the Emerald, yeah, they meet. Emerald's the one who won. Emerald meets together, and Josh immediately is like, I don't want to throw Logan in. And he's like, I want to put Corey in instead. And which is weird. Somebody asked Devin about if he would put in CT. He's like, if I have to, I can. Tori kind of said the same thing. If we have to put him in, we understand this is a bridge that we have to cross at some point. And obviously CT being out makes the final a lot easier for everyone else. But it's just, I don't know what Logan did to woo these people and not woo from the Survivor season we're watching.
Boy, I wish Woo was on here. That'd be fun.
What did he do to I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I give him that. But I just don't know why they're just willing to throw away. Anyway, we get into the deliberation, and CT speaks up first.
Devin speaks up first and tells everybody else in the house that their team is still very much undecided on who they're going to throw in. He said, He said usually when they go in, they already have a pretty good idea of who they want. But he said this time they have absolutely no clue where to go, which you thought, Zach, meant that they were going to come to a stalemate.
Well,
I said we had that thing last week.
I said last week they prefaced like, "Hey, make sure you don't deadlock," and I said because there's 6 of them, they could in multiple ways like have a 3-3 or a 2-2-2 or
a 1-1-2-2.
I mean,
yeah.
Sure. Anyway, CT speaks up, says, in his confessional he's got the challenge blues, but he doesn't want to be somebody's hitman. Apparently, which I think I don't know if it's from the Tori and Anissa podcast or whatever. I didn't listen to it. Someone in our Slack group was talking about it. Apparently, CT had been telling people he's kind of done with his team, and he wants to be the vote. And he wants to go in, and then he wants to switch to the Emerald team. And then he decided that day, like, you know what, it's not smart to do that. Like, let's just ride this out. Then I'll quit, pouting about my team. We've got a strong base. We just got to figure it out. And so that's kind of where that came from. Then Nelson does apologize to Amanda and Big T, which I didn't ever really see him say anything to Big T, but maybe there was something they cut out. But he specifically said them two. And then he tells...
well, you know what he said to kick it all off?
I don't.
He said, "I'll take the range on this."
Did he?
It's the reins.
I saw that on Facebook this morning. Somebody was like, "Did we get a Nelsonism finally?" Where he said, "I'll take the range on that."
He said, "I'll take the," because I rewound it.
I thought he said, "I'll take the reins."
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. He said, "I'll take the range on this."
You know what?
Bone apple tea.
Does he
Thank
seem
God.
like extra just all over the place this season?
Yes, because we've not been getting real good Nelsonisms.
Yeah.
He's too busy doing other stuff, which is a shame, a crying shame.
So
if he says lies, spies, lies, and allies one more time,
he loves what
It's
like every episode at this point.
It's like they told him, "Oh, this is what the theme's gonna be." He's like, "I got you."
And he's like, "Ooh,
I'll get
definitely
it in
got
there."
liars on my team.
If he double crosses them, that's really spies, lies, and allies.
If I say it, they got to put it on the show.
It's so cringy, but I
he
love
probably
it
thinks
coming
it's extremely
from him.
clever,
He
though.
does.
It's
or
literally
cool.
saying the most obvious thing in the world.
He thinks it's so cool.
So he then tells people he's going to stay Ruby if he goes in. Logan says he's going to stay Ruby until death. And then Kyle just threatens people, and then Corey just threatens people.
Kyle says the opposite. He's like, if I go in, everybody's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Which is the card that Amanda played last week, and it worked.
It's what Corey said too. I mean, he's like, if I go in, he's like, I'm going to infiltrate you guys, and it is what it is. And Corey's the pick, and he looks at Nelson, says, "You're safe," and then says, "Everyone else, best of luck because I'm coming after somebody."
And specifically tells all the guys in Devin's team that they should be very worried.
Yeah, I mean, he literally, like, I think in the next scene he said, "I want to win. I want to join Emerald. I want to throw the elimination, and then I want to go against Devin or Josh." And that's when Devin tries to talk to him, and he won't listen. He walks off, and so Devin then gets with Nelson and says, like, "Hey, I didn't want Corey to be the vote." He's like, "I've tried to vote Logan in twice now, and Josh has stopped it." And
which is a smart play.
It is, but it's also the truth.
Yeah, it is the truth, but it's also smart to let Nelson know, because if anybody can talk to Corey, seriously talk to Corey right now, it's Nelson.
You gotta let him take the range, and he'll get in there and talk to Corey.
All up in that range.
So we go to the elimination. Corey's obviously the pick. I didn't know what he was gonna do, really, because I didn't know if he was gonna take Logan's the smart move, just money wise. He's a rookie. He's on a bad team. If you're gonna go after, like, if you were gonna join CT or whoever, you don't want to take Kyle off that team and make that team even weaker. And so, he picks Logan. The game's called Rope Burn. I mean, the fire's just for show, basically. It stops before they get up there to it, but it's best 2 out of 3, and I don't mind this style. It's Josh at one point does say he had flashbacks of going against Jordyn, where Jordyn beat him, in a very similar style thing. We on last season of All Stars, it was like Latarian and Mark and Kendall and somebody else.
On the little tree stumps.
Yeah, they're on tree stumps.
Katie?
Maybe. Or Trishelle. I don't know. I don't remember.
know. No, it couldn't have been Trishelle. It was somebody with a lower center of gravity.
I don't really remember.
It was somebody.
Yep.
I don't remember who it was. Regardless, did you know that Logan plays tennis?
I did make a note. He said he plays tennis and football.
That's enough for
We
me.
should ask him to come play tennis.
Football's probably not.
love
American
to.
football is probably soccer.
Yeah, it'd be soccer.
He could be our fourth person that comes to play with us.
Yeah, just call him in. Have him fly in from Spain.
I bet he'd do it.
From Barcelona.
So you said Josh said that he was getting like PTSD from his elimination with Jordyn.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I was thinking, oh man, the last time Corey had an elimination that involved something holding fire or dealing with fire, he and Nelson both choked.
Oh yeah, by the way, that soccer one. But if it would have been Logan versus Corey in like a soccer, he plays soccer, like he would have killed him.
Yeah.
There was a couple. This wasn't like a blowout or anything like that. Like Corey had like a big recovery where he got pulled down one time and worked his way back up, but then Logan just like.
It's strategy.
Waited till he got him off that. Like it wasn't to the same degree as like what Jordyn did with Josh,
but it was kind of in the same.
It was
family.
waiting for your moment to strike and then taking it. Like I think I don't even think it happened first round. I think in the second round, Corey's just like arms are burning out. He took one hand off, and then right when he did, Logan just yanked that thing.
Yacked on it.
Yeah, that means that sounds like he threw up on the road.
Yeah, that was when Logan actually won the elimination. He had said his strategy was waiting for Corey to be the one on offense, like trying to like shake the rope or whatever. And he said as soon as he's done with that, then you pull.
Yeah,
and I mean like work smarter, not harder.
Well, I mean it's just like He just waited for his moment, and he saw Corey had a handoff, which means, one, he's not as balanced, and two, he doesn't have as much strength, like, holding on to it.
Or energy.
And he just, like Jake said, he yacked on it.
Threw all up over it.
He won. And,
Corey is now 0-2 in fire eliminations.
I don't know what his overall elimination record is.
I'm actually surprised. It's 8-4.
Oh, I was about to say probably 50-50.
So that means prior to this one, he was 8-3.
Yeah.
It's actually solid.
Yeah, I think
that's pretty good.
Nelson was like 9-2 a couple seasons ago.
Yeah. Wow. I think I thought it was a bad loss by Corey, if I'm being honest.
But who else would you have gone against?
I don't know.
I mean, you don't want to go against CT or Kyle necessarily in these.
Who's left? Your best friend?
Yeah, it's either.
It's a bad look because he bookended it with. So at the top of it, he's picking up sand and doing the whole.
Yeah.
This is what I come here for, and then at the end of it, I can't. So I watched it on Philo, and they do like the exit interviews or whatever that aren't shown like
on TV.
On TV, and he was like, "Best believe I'm coming back with revenge on my mind," which is like the most generic thing in the world.
That was on ours.
Yeah, that was on
the most generic thing in the world to say. I don't know. It was just kind of bookended with like this super hard talk, and it's like, buddy, you weren't even close to not really.
Yeah, I mean, Logan didn't even from what we saw, it didn't even look like he lost his balance.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Logan is also a firefighter, so he's got experience with the ropes and fire.
Yeah, he
I mean, that's what you call a double jeopardy.
Nope. He's 2-0 in rope eliminations.
It's a double whammy.
Double jeopardy means he can't be.
That's
tried for this.
That's the wrestling name that I always like. That's my wrestling name.
You wrestle?
You're wrestling?
No. That's like that's like a conversation starter. My wrestling name is Double Jeopardy.
What does that mean?
Do you know what double jeopardy is in real life?
Well, my phrase is
Say no.
My name is Double Jeopardy. You know why? Because I'm a problem.
Yeah, that's not what that is.
That's not right. I thought you were going to say, because I can't be tried.
Do you know what Double Jeopardy is?
Yes, but my loopy brain says no.
Well, I think it's a movie from the 90s, which I believe is Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman, maybe. But it's where you can't be tried for the same crime again. Like, if you've already been acquitted for something, like, they can't, like, oh, no, we got more this time.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, it's why OJ, even if they found more evidence on him, you can't try him again for the same murder of Nicole Brown or whatever her name is.
So, to cut Corey some slack for the try hard speech, I thought it was a big move for him to be the one losing and then going and giving Nelson a pep talk.
It's fine.
And encouragement.
Well, Nelson was crying.
Well, Corey cried too in his little exit interview.
I meant Corey.
He talked about Nelson deserving to be the one to win this season.
I mean, honestly, all these people, if you really dig into it, they've all got their own version of like some like reason why they need the money. I mean, that's why they're here. Like it's just he's more attached to Nelson, so it's a bigger deal for him. Also, Nelson sacrificed himself, a couple seasons ago, for Corey to have a chance.
Well, I thought it was, incredibly dumb of Logan to not break up
100%.
Like what?
100%.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's because Josh protected him.
Yep.
Okay, well then just go be there with Josh. Like
take Emmanuel's spot.
Which
I don't think he will. I feel like that's
stupid.
the thing is I agree. It's insane that they've had 4 eliminations and not one of them has gone into Emerald Cell.
Yeah, they've all been taking CT's team because they think CT's going to be the one that wins them the final. I don't know. I was very disappointed in that move because, I mean, and I guess nobody else in the house knew it, but Devin's team had a meeting during the night out where they all told each other if for whatever reason we come across a daily that we do not win and or if somebody else wins and they take one of our spots on our team, we're going to do everything we can to get you back.
But as a team, you can't do much. Like you make it win the next daily and try to put people in eliminations or whatever. But you're running out of time. Like you're going to run out of chances for that. And honestly, I bet they're going to switch up the format again, and it's going to end up being like a singles
individual
final.
Game. Yeah. I have a feeling. I did think before Logan took Kyle's spot, his little thing, Nelson thinks he's a backstabber or a liar or a snake or whatever. Logan said he's Ruby to the death, but when someone from your own team shoots you, that's death.
Yeah,
agree.
I don't. Someone's got to go into Emerald. Like, if CT would have been in here and won, he would have gone to Emerald
straight up.
Like it's just like
immediately.
It's if Ashley would have won, I think. Well, actually she did come back because Amanda was there. I don't know. It's just I get the allure of like, a team with CT and Ashley, but there are only 4 people on that team, and the other one has 6. And like, it's just you can't win the daily, you can't get in the power positions, and it's like. It's just, I don't know.
I do think Logan going to that team, despite still only being 4 people, I think it might make them stronger than they were with just Kyle.
I think skill-wise, they're maybe a little bit of a wash, but Logan has less problematic side to him. And also, he's fully protected by Josh for some reason. And so that does help. But, like, yeah, Kyle's kind of like a loose cannon, like, he could get in a fight with somebody or and Logan's not going to do that. So I don't know. It's just it's crazy.
He seems extra goofy this season too.
Kyle,
yeah,
it's kind of like he dialed it up.
Yeah.
Him
and Nelson seem a little bit too try hard on the goofy stuff this season.
Yeah.
I don't know if
it doesn't seem natural.
I agree. I don't know if producers no, you got to give us more in these confessionals. And
he gets very like character-y.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
And it's not funny anymore.
It's not the Kyle and the Nelson that we love.
It's not. It doesn't come across as like just natural being funny. It definitely feels like, oh hey, we want you to talk about this thing. Come up with like 3 or 4 like lines to talk about this, and it's like, oh, this is definitely like something he like wrote out or somebody told him to say.
Which now that I think about it, Devin's kind of in the same spot. I think Devin's pretty funny with his little one-liners, but this season it's almost like he's been too serious and too like diabolical.
I wonder if like they're like, hey, you need to lean into this because people, I don't know. Like again, the thing that like what was so funny with Kyle and Devin last season was just when they were like on camera together. Just like, I don't know what my partner is saying.
I don't know what my partner's saying either.
Yeah.
And then they did the dress like Fessy interview to make fun of him.
I don't know. I feel like there's definitely been like a tonal change with some of the like
main characters. Just
like the personalities. Like they're like, oh, hey, let's really lean into certain things, and it's coming across as unnatural.
Trying too hard.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, superlatives for this episode. Who smashed some heads?
Logan smashed Nelson's head when he left their team, and then smashed Kyle's head when he took Kyle's spot and put Kyle on the Ruby team with Nelson because Kyle was distraught after that.
But again, very played up.
We'll give it to Nelson because he took the range.
Okay. He smashed some heads with the range.
Yeah.
I got to give it to the freaking Emerald team, man. Their mind games has stopped people from infiltrating them 4 weeks in a row. Like, as soon as TJ announced that was going to be a thing, I was like, oh, right away. And then it's just not happened. So, I guess good for them. Who got their head smashed?
Corey, when he was picked to go into elimination over a rookie.
You know what? I'm going to give it to Casey because every time she pops up, it's always, for me at least, like, oh, yeah.
You're here.
She's still here. Is she not one of the just most forgettable, dominant, like,
oh, yeah,
you can't deny that, like, because here she goes again, probably going to another final.
Yeah.
Is she not, like, not one of the most forgettable, dominant force to ever be on this show? Think about it. Out of all the dominant players we've had on this show throughout the season, she has to be just the most
boring,
I forgot
irrelevant.
She was on the show.
It's like wallpaper.
It's crazy
because even like the other, not even just like female competitors, but like think about like the top female competitors. Just like Laurel, great, big personality. Like you're gonna just and a really great competitor. You have Kara, obviously has changed her own ways, but then even like Emily Schramm, like you didn't be like, oh, I forgot you were on this season.
No, never.
She wasn't loud and like she just like, I don't know. That's probably the closest comparison because even like Evelyn was like her own world type thing.
But Evelyn had an intensity.
Exactly.
To her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Also, she was super young when she did this show.
Just like, and even when we do get a confessional from Casey or some sort of segment, it doesn't matter. What she says didn't matter, and like, it's crazy. I just
the closest one. I mean, Fessy is pretty close.
But Fessy still has like a presence about him, you know.
He'll at least get into it with somebody.
You don't forget that Fessy's on the show.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going back through all my notes.
Like, seriously, how often do you find yourself making a note about?
I don't have anything
Episode 9 was the last time I had one note about Casey, and it was just that she tried to take the last ball from Amber, who's been she's been gone for a while. Episode 9. What episode are we on now?
13.
That was the last time I had a note about Casey, and there was like one.
I would venture to say, I know she's gotten a lot of points the last 3 weeks because she keeps winning the dailies, but outside of winning the dailies, I would bet you she hasn't even passed combined points. Like, I would say 150 total for the season.
For the season?
I'm not going to go back and do that math, but
we'll do it for the.
But just call them out.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
Just for Casey.
Just call out her scores.
But I don't have like
you don't have all of them.
I mean, I don't have totals right here. Like these are just like the individual scores week to week. Like, and it's like this one was a 0, and then that one was a -5. But a week before that, it was 5, 10, -5, -5, 10, 5, -5.
It was like what, 20, 25?
I don't know. Like again, I'm not
like 25. I mean, I'm serious.
-5. This one, there's a lot of negatives.
-15.
Yeah. That was a big week, but that's definitely that was winning a daily.
Yeah, but you're still looking at like 50, 60 points.
Yeah. That's all negative.
-30. 5. 10.
Yeah, 10 right there.
That's a big week.
Yeah, that's a
Daily win.
daily win. Say like 45 there.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just probably that's the
Daily
last
wins.
few weeks.
So I mean, you know, it's just crazy. She got her head smashed. She will. Yeah. She's a universal head smashed.
You know, I'm gonna go with Big T got her donut smashed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was literally
Another forgettable one.
smashed away from her head.
Yeah. So yeah, that's mine. Pop culture.
Pop culture person of the week is Charlie Puth.
I genuinely don't know what that guy looks like or sounds like. Wouldn't know him.
Charlie Puth has like major baby face, but you can't deny how musically gifted he is. That boy can produce a song in a matter of hours, and it's a banger.
You know, just because we were talking about it earlier, Surviving the Game.
Okay.
It's a good movie. It really is.
You know, I don't really have. I'll just go with this. I Discover Weekly on Spotify. A band came up that I was like, oh, I kind of like this, and they're called Crosses, but it's actually just like 3 crosses, but they go by crosses as well. It turns out it's like 2 of the guys from the Deftones, but it's like
I like Deftones,
but the Deftones to me are always something that in theory I like, but in like actually listening to them, I get really bored with them. Crosses is like a mix with like a little bit of electronica, and I like it a lot more than anything I've ever listened to from the Deftones. And actually, I went back and listened to the Deftones last night while I was playing Rocket League, and
just to see,
and I was like, no, this is better. Crosses is better.
Yeah,
but it's the same vocalist. It's Chino or whatever his name is. So yeah, Crosses. They only have one album. If you want the song, I think it's just called The Holy Ghost, but they took all the vowels out. So that's the song. You ready to
Rumble?
That's Jake's favorite movie.
Yeah, well, as you guys know, we changed our sponsor a couple of weeks ago.
You know what? This week's sponsored just by our web store.
Oh yeah,
We're our own sponsor this week.
/store.
Go get you some Nipple Boys merch,
Or any of them.
Zach specifically wants everybody listening to this to buy a Nipple Boys duvet.
Yeah, we do not make that money is because they have to manufacture a duvet.
Yeah.
We don't get $140.
No, it's not for the money. You just want someone to have that duvet.
I do want someone to I want that to exist.
Will you cry if somebody buys it?
No.
I think you'll get close. It's happy tears.
All right, well, here we go. Emmy says where CT goes, I go. 5 points to Emmy. Lady Gaga is Emmy's idol. We're not big Lady Gaga fans. -5.
What? I am.
Well, that's a -5 to you, Han.
I mean, I'm kind of indifferent, but
let's see. Logan is not happy to have Amanda. -5 to Logan.
Should be -5 to Amanda.
Why?
Because he
Logan's
doesn't
on
want
her
her.
team.
Well, no, that's not. No, he's not happy to have her. Right?
he's unhappy.
He's unhappy, so that's -1.
Oh,
So he
-5
gets
because
-1.
he's unhappy.
Yeah.
I was thinking -5 because she's unwanted.
No.
-5 to her because nobody wants her.
But I didn't. Okay. Corey says Amanda is the weakest girl in the game. -5 to Amanda.
There we go.
Context hand.
You're right.
I liked the quote here. We give out points for quotes. When Amanda was talking about the Ruby team, love the color, hate the team. 10 points.
You
Hold
think that's
on,
a Satan
time
joke?
Time out. Speaking of Amanda quotes, did you catch the one where she said, "I was born at night, but not last night"?
Yeah, she got fantasy points for
we
that
talked
last
about
week.
that last week multiple times.
Yeah.
You brought it up specifically.
You good?
don't
Also,
remember that.
also, she's another one that the confessionals feel very scripted.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, she's a nurse.
Maybe it's just the season.
CT knows his way around the grill. 10 points. We appreciate a guy that can whip up some good steaks. I almost said meat.
a guy that whips up some good meat.
You can grill more than steak on a grill.
Nope.
It's the innuendo. 5 points to Emmanuel for slapping his meat.
Mm.
Did you see that? It's a good old slap
I did.
to it.
It was a good one.
He also hops on pigs, 10 points. We're going to give him 15 because he's the only rookie that hasn't been into the lair yet.
It's pretty good.
10 points to Emmanuel and Tori for their love connection. 5 points to each of them because they're just a couple of plumbers. 10 points to Josh for being bilingual. I didn't know that.
It's just something I'd never thought about before.
Yeah. We're also going to give him and Logan an additional 10 points for carrying on how often do you see that on the challenge? A conversation in a different language.
I'm trying to think of. Obviously, Emmanuel and Emmy could.
But I'm saying
We haven't seen it. They talk to each other in English.
Yeah.
Logan just wants to buy a surfboard. 5 points. Corey never feels safe. -10. Big T is having a breakfast of losers. -10. She also gets a bagel slapped out of her hand.
It's not a
It's
bagel.
donut. -5.
It's -5 to you.
Now give 5 to Corey for doing that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. So when Emerald was actually doing the daily,
Yeah, we skipped over all that.
Emmanuel said, "I did not expect to see a lot of knots." It sounded like he said nuts, to which I gave him -5 points for.
Yeah, maybe he saw both. He was just in there swimming.
Well, it made sense, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, no.
I get it. No, I get what you're saying.
Devin said our plan was expletive, poop, -5 to the whole Emerald team.
Oh.
That's Devin,
Yeah.
Tori, Casey,
You're just going to have to give me a second.
Nani, Josh, and Emmanuel. We're giving -15 to Emmy. She explained the daily.
She did. I caught that.
Tori puts her body on the line for guys. 5 points. Emmy is a giant ball of yarn. -5. That was not a good thing. She at one point said, "I do not know what I'm doing right now." -10. Ashley said, "Our team is a poop sandwich." -10 to the Sapphire team.
Her and Amanda said that same phrase at least 3 times.
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's negative points coming for that.
Okay. -10 to her, CT,
Kyle, and Emmy.
Yeah.
Well, Emmy getting a lot of negatives.
Yeah,
Huh?
she's
good
got a
night.
lot.
Kyle at one point screamed, "I'm not a fish boy." -5. Let's see. Amanda is Titanicking. 10 points. Gave everybody a good laugh. That's an additional 5 points. Logan is a fish. 5 points. Emerald wins. We're going to give each of them 25, 15, and 15. Again,
Wow.
that is for winning.
She said that like that surprised her.
Yeah, that's
It's a little surprising.
It's the same.
Why?
It's been for 4 weeks.
I don't know. It was just surprising.
We even had a debate about it.
I couldn't help it.
What, can you not help?
Saying, wow, it was surprising.
She's been watching a lot of Owen Wilson stuff.
Wow.
We're just going to give Devin 5 points for his ego.
Okay.
I don't know. Corey said close isn't close enough. -5, yeah. Amanda hates meetings. I think most people do. 5 points.
Yeah, I agree.
I love meetings.
10 points to Nelson and Amanda for their spat. You know what? We're going to give 5 points to CT's coined the Misfits, Loners, and Outcasts. That would be CT, Ashley, Emmy, and Kyle.
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay.
Nelson with the I'll take the range on this, -10.
That was a good one, though.
Logan is Ruby until death, 5 points. We're going to give Kyle 10 points for awareness. He said, I can make promises, but I know I won't keep it.
Yeah.
So, -25 to Corey. He got compromised. But Nelson is safe, 5 points.
All right.
Dual middle fingers from Corey, 10 points.
That used to be something they censored, and they just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they didn't. I was really surprised.
We're going to give Corey 5 points for at least threatening to break up Emerald. We're going to give him an additional 10 for making threats and starting fights.
Okay.
Did you do it?
Oh, 10 each?
No, just
Yeah,
to him.
I did it right there.
We are going to give 10 to Corey and Josh for their spat.
I thought that's what you meant by starting fights.
We encourage fighting on this podcast, this children's podcast.
-5 to Corey because he looked at his kids again. He did. He pulled out the picture again.
Do you hate kids?
No, I don't hate.
He hates Corey's kids.
Specifically.
Corey picks up sand. We'll give him 5 for that.
You talked about how that was a bad move.
It was bad because of how he lost.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I said, LOL, good one, Corey, 5 points. It must have been worth it, 5 points.
Oh, TJ was like, who do you want to call in? He goes,
he
my
made
boy Nelly. Oh,
just kidding. Yeah,
That wasn't good. I was like,
we'll give him 5.
He didn't wait long enough. It was like all running together like one big long word.
It would have been funny if TJ's like, no, it came out of your mouth. You said it.
You told him he was safe.
CT just screamed, I'm not your enemy to Corey, so 5 points to Corey.
Oh, okay.
Because
I thought that was a smart move.
Yeah, because CT's not his enemy.
Yeah.
-25 to Logan. He got compromised. We're going to give him 15 because he plays tennis.
Okay.
Yes, we reward that because we love tennis.
Corey shouts out the kids again, -5. We're going to give Amanda -10 because I think this was the third time that a poop sandwich was referenced.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Ashley said it at least twice. And then
I ignored it the second time, but then she said it the third, and I was like,
this has got to
-10.
be something
Yeah.
that like they just think's hilarious.
It's not.
Devin explains the elimination, -15. This elimination in general just doesn't need an explanation. So
No. It's literally a tug of war, one of the oldest games in the world.
Logan wins, 75. Corey loses, -50. Corey simply lets Nelson know it's your time. 5 points to Nelson. You know what? Give 10 points to Corey and Nelson for their continued romance. Corey's coming back with revenge on the mind. We hadn't heard it before, have we? -5. Logan is not Ruby until death. -10.
He lied.
He did.
Well,
also a -10 for switching to Sapphire and not Emerald.
I agree that.
Yeah.
Nelson said lies, spies, and allies again. -15.
God dang it.
Kyle is back on Ruby. -5. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your fantasy points, or those are your fantasy points for the week. Again, brought to you by our Threadless store, where you can get yourself a Nipple Boys duvet.
There's more than just Nipple Boys. There's 6 new designs.
But specifically, we want someone to purchase a Nipple Boys duvet for their bed.
Yeah, it looks great. It has a mock-up of it. Like, you can just get on there, and it shows exactly what it looks like. But we'll be right back.
Zach may have taken you into the break, but I'm bringing you back from the break. Here we
From the
are.
dead.
Yeah, again, brought to you by...
Brought to us by our own Threadless store. Go
Yeah.
get you some merch.
Do you know the URL?
Threadless.com/smashing/threadless.
Smashingheadspodcast.com/store.
Okay.
Smashingheadspodcast.com/store.
Threadless store. Oh, store.
Oh my god.
Threadless is not in it.
Well, I said Threadless and you said store, so I thought Threadless store.
No, I've already said it at least 5 other times in this episode. Yeah, it just redirects from there. Any guesses on who the high score and low score of the week were?
I'm gonna say
Not the score, but the person.
High score is probably Emmanuel.
Don't look at it.
I'm gonna say the low score was
Emmy.
No.
That's my guess.
There's some Nelson.
No. Who's high score?
I'll say
You both
Emmanuel.
got that wrong. Yeah,
Okay.
Emmanuel's the high score. He got 90 for the week.
You said we got it wrong. We got that
I
right.
said you got the second one wrong.
No, you said you both got that one wrong.
That's not what I said. Anyway, Emmy almost was the low score.
Okay.
Huh.
She was negative 35, but then Corey ended up at negative 40.
Okay.
It was close.
No, Nelson was just he was just 5 points overall.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
You thought that Spies, Lies, and Allies was going to really
yeah.
throw him under.
Yeah.
So the scoring for the week: CT got 5, Amanda got 25, Ed, Berna, and Jeremiah all have been eliminated. Josh got 80.
Won the daily.
Yeah. Emmanuel got 90.
Won the daily.
Wow.
Amy got negative 35. Huey's gone, and then Big T got negative 15.
Yeah.
And then Esther's gone. Fessy has been disqualified. Nelson ended up with 5. Ashley ended up with negative 5. Kels and Tommy are both gone. Nani got 50.
Won the
Gabo,
daily.
Michaela, Michelle, all gone. Casey got 50.
Yeah. Here, before you continue, how ironic that Nani, who is normally would be a high fantasy producer, has now associated herself with Casey.
They don't win. They don't get any points unless it's for the dailies.
They
Yeah.
don't. It's crazy.
I know.
Crazy. Guilt by association.
I don't know if that's okay.
What's the word?
Guilty by
Innocent
association.
until proven
No,
guilty.
I'm sorry, God Almighty. Forgettable by association.
That's even worse of one.
Okay.
Bettina and Amber B are gone. Oh, which we didn't even talk about. This came out. I'll get to it in a second. Kyle ended up with negative 5. Devin was 40.
Won daily.
Corey was negative 40. Anissa's gone. Logan was 65. And then Tori was 70. But the daily, that and then Renan, Tasha, Tracy, Priscilla, Corey 12 all gone. So I'm still the low score for the week because literally Nelson and Amanda canceled each other out, and then Casey and Nani just won the daily. So I got 100 points, and that's it. Hannah got 130, and then Jake, you got 150. So that the standings are still the same as they were last week. I'm in last with 1295. Hannah is at 1460. And Jake is at 2370. What I was going to say, which I did bring it up to Hannah earlier. I don't even know if you saw
Bettina's
this.
pregnant.
Bettina was pregnant. 4 seasons in a row that they've had someone pregnant that they didn't know about. And they're going to have to do something about this. Because, if not, you're putting the woman who might be pregnant's health at risk. You're putting a baby at risk. Again, it's like this... It seems like that should be they'll have to do physicals, right? To do this show, that seems like that should almost need to be part of it because what is Melissa, Teresa,
And Natalie.
Didn't
and
Teresa get pregnant right after, immediately after?
I don't. There was 4. It's been 4 seasons in a row where it's been somebody, and it's just wow. I've never even heard of this happening before on this show, and then now it's it's an epidemic. And
that's the thing, because it's one thing to unknowingly be pregnant while putting your body through intense strenuous physical activity, but the last thing they want is for one of these competitors to, God forbid, go through a miscarriage in this house.
Well, it's not even the actual physical aspect of it, but stress isn't good for a baby either.
And you're on a crazy schedule. You're partying. Melissa made it to the final, and
she quit the final, and now I kind of understand. Her body was freaking out because she was pregnant. She didn't know.
Bettina said she was 15 weeks at this point, which I don't know. It's just they've got. I don't know if you can say hey, before you do the show, we just need to make sure you're not pregnant. I don't know what all they sign away, but if not, the show, it's not the show of 15, 20 years ago. It's such a demanding physical thing that like Jake said, even just stress is not good, and this is just constant stress and exertion, and Like, I mean, you saw like Tommy like got knocked out. Like, imagine if it's someone.
Tommy
like,
had a concussion.
I know, and like there's just been crazy things that have happened, and it's just like they got to figure that out.
I understand why some people would think, MTV can't do like mandatory pregnancy tests. I don't
see why they couldn't.
I don't see why
honest.
they couldn't. It's
Yeah.
It's part of the job description. It's putting your body through
this.
this.
It's a contract you sign and saying like, hey, as being on the show, I consent to this.
Exactly.
If you don't want to be on it, don't do it.
And it's one thing to like Bettina, who did not want to be pregnant, but what if you have a competitor who's with a serious partner or married and is trying for a baby didn't know, and this has caused them to potentially lose that baby? Like what?
Yeah, it's
they've got to do something.
There's too many things at risk. That's what we'll leave you on. You guys can ponder that on your Nipple Boys duvet covers and your bath mats if you want to lay on those. But again, what's the URL?
www.com.
www.com.
That's it.
Smashingheadspodcast.com/store.
Yeah.
.smashingheads.
No. And again, I'll put it in the show notes for anyone who wants. And again, we're super excited about it. And we will see you guys all next week.
Have a good night, everyone.